Hey everybody!
Whoa!
Welcome to the Bulls Tabletop Hour. I'm Adam Harry.
I'm Abe.
And we've got some exciting stuff to talk about today.
It's a big weekend.
It's a big weekend.
Yeah.
It was big times. There was the Las Vegas Open.
Woo!
Which means before that was the Las Vegas Open, Warhammer Open, Studio Open, Preview Open. Seminar Open.
Thing open.
Yeah. There was the Warhammer...
They opened their doors and the floodgates.
Yes, the floodgates of new cool stuff coming our way. It was like the first major 40K Age of Sigmar news dump from Games Workshop for the year, basically.
For the year, yeah.
So,
and we had the
it was pretty exciting.
Horse Heresy weekender, but that wasn't really 40K.
It was mostly focused on Horse Heresy.
Yeah.
We talked about that last week.
We did.
Or the week before. I forget which one.
So this was the first, not new rules, because the Horse Heresy stuff had some new rules for 40K with the Custodes stuff, but this is actually the first, what's going to come out this year, what's the new models and stuff like that.
Loads of new models. A lot of stuff was confirmed this weekend.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about the new minis we saw. And then we're going to get into some of the LVO kind of analysis stuff. And then we're going to dive into
another thing
some other new stuff.
Yeah.
Boom. Age of Sigmar.
The Carrion Empire box came out.
Carrion Empire box. We've got the
two factions from Carrion Empire.
Yeah. So we're pretty pumped about all this goodies.
Yep.
So, miniatures.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of really cool stuff.
There's a lot of stuff. So for 40K specifically.
You want to talk, you want to do cast first and then swing back around? I feel like that's probably the...
Sure, we can do cast first. So to preface this, we know that there's a new box set coming out.
Yes,
Shadow Spear.
Yes.
Which features Chaos, in particular Black Legion, it seems like.
Yes.
But possibly generic Chaos as well.
I think it's mostly Black Legion, but probably going to be generic too.
Versus... In the artwork, it's Ultramarines. We've heard rumors that it's, again, just generic Marines. Anyone can use them.
Yeah.
Versus Marines. Yep. It's a new box set, and every model in it's supposed to be a new sculpt.
Right? They said every model is a new sculpt, which is awesome.
Which is pretty awesome. So we know that that's coming out. We'll talk at the end a bit about what other things we think might be coming out. We know that's coming out, and we know some big guy is coming out, unrelated to this box.
It's a brand new Primaris Lieutenant.
Yes.
They announced.
And then standing on top of him
is Abaddon.
Yeah.
I am so pumped about that.
So we are definitely getting a new Abaddon model.
New Abaddon for sure.
Other things that we've seen coming out, there's going to be new sculpts of basic Chaos Space Marines.
Yeah.
Black Legion focused. So
Black Legion focused.
But you could probably... It looks like you could use them for any they're not cult troops, but they are basic Chaos Space Marines.
Yeah, so if... I like to say, if Ultramarines are your vanilla Space Marine flavor,
right,
then Black Legion's your vanilla Chaos. I think we should call them Chaos. Chocolate.
Chocolate, that's what I was going to say, yeah.
There's your generic chocolate Chaos Marines
are
Black Legion.
I mean, I feel like... Yeah, they're chocolate, and then
because there's Mocha, Cocoa, and... Whatever.
Who's Rocky Road? Mortarion, because he kind of had a hard start getting... Or is Magnus... It's Thousand Suns, because they, have had a really rocky road.
I don't know, man. I mean, I was thinking... Yeah. This analogy we can go from there.
What's marshmallow? What ice cream has marshmallows in it?
I don't know. How do you feel? It depends on how you feel about marshmallows.
Well, I like them. I'm just saying, Rubric Marines are kind of like marshmallows, right? There's nothing much inside of them.
Oh, I see what you did there. Anyway, the new Black Legion models, like you said, there's some generic Black Legion Space Marines, Chaos Space Marines.
These look to be bigger. They're kind of similar to ones we saw in Blackstone Fortress.
Yes. They have the same ornate kind of gothic armor with the crazy, intricate patterns and spikes. They're a little bit bulkier looking.
They're much closer to the Primaris size.
Yeah, I think they're still going to be a little smaller than Primaris, but they definitely do look filled out, which is cool. Another big thing is we called it.
Yeah, we saw
which was the spider tank thing.
The Venom Crawler.
Venom Crawler, yes.
It's called. We had talked about this a couple weeks ago. It's on the Urban Conquest box set. On the big picture, there was this weird spider.
It was a silhouette type thing of a spider thing coming through the door, and we're like, what is that? That is a new vehicle. Because it was next to some Black Legion Marines and a Land Raider. I think,
very small, baby Land Raider.
Yeah, baby Land Raider. It was the Land Raider was the size of the Vindicator, which was weird.
Yeah,
it was strange. Anyway,
Chaos can't build them; they have to breed them.
It was it's not a Defiler,
right?
And it's something new, and
they confirmed it's called a Venom Crawler. It's another Demon Engine.
Yeah,
it is apparently it creates warp rifts or something. It reduces the veil, or I don't know. I don't know how to say it.
So it thins the veil. So
it thins the veil. That's it. Yeah.
Which is cool.
Yeah, we don't know anything about it other than that.
Honestly, it because of the back part of it, the kind of the hull of the vehicle. It reminds me a little bit of like the plague crawler type stuff.
It's kind of like that. I mean, it's definitely
blight drones.
It's definitely like spidery,
but it's more. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. It's got the legs instead of hovering stuff.
And so what's interesting is I've noticed that Games Workshop seems to have a liking for spiders that can like pierce veils or go through realms, because the new Gloomspire kits, right? They have the big Arachnarok spiders.
They do,
and one version of those is able to rip holes between the different realms and travel to the different mortal realms and stuff.
With conversion possibilities.
So this is like a theme, because they tend to actually have some weird themes like this. So like there's definitely like an idea, I guess.
Eldar warp spiders.
Yeah,
being able to punch through
punch through stuff. So like there's definitely a thing at Games Workshop, I think, that spiders go through dimensions.
Spiders, man.
And possibly the warp. So that's,
and then that Spider-Man movie came out, and they were all crossing dimensions.
It's true.
I mean,
Spider-Verse. Hey. I mean, it's only a matter of time before like Into the Spider-Verse 4 comes out, and there's like some Games Workshop references.
Hey man,
right?
It's gonna
happen.
Move
on. I'm Venom Crawler Spider. I'm Venom Man. I mean, it's a Venom, right? It's Venom right there.
Into the Spider-Verse GW crossover.
Yeah.
Make it happen.
We're gonna do it.
Obliterators also got a new kit,
model,
which is super cool.
Yeah, they're pretty interesting. They to me, first off, the face totally looks like Bane from like comic book Bane.
What do you mean, Abe?
I don't know. You only adopted the heavy weapons. I was born with them.
Yeah. You can just talk like Bane if you took a cup.
But I like so I think some people are kind of torn on the models. They're a little bulky, weird kind of.
Here's the thing. The thing. This goes also to the Venom Crawler. We don't know the exact scale of these things.
We don't know the scale. Though.
So the Venom Crawler, I don't know if that is the size of a Land Raider or if it's not. You know, it could be maybe the size of like a jet bike or Dreadnought. Yeah. Exactly. The Obliterators, again, they look very, very similar to the Hellbrutes.
They do.
And I think that's intentional.
Yes.
But we don't know if that base is like Centurion size base or Terminator size base. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's going to be any smaller than that.
No, I don't.
But I don't think it's going to be like
big, very. Big.
I don't think it's going to be Hellbrute big because they have a Hellbrute. So why would they?
And what's interesting, what I like about the model, I'm not necessarily 100% a fan of it myself, but what I like about it is a big nod back to like the older, like 3rd edition Obliterators, where they had like, well, every time you shoot, pick from one of these 5 weapons, right? And you could very clearly see on this.
This thing's got so many weapons.
That it's got a plasma cannon, that it's got a storm bolter, that it's got, it looks like a heavy bolter,
maybe
and
an autocannon or
like
something.
a melt-a-gun or something.
Yeah.
Right? So very clearly is an homage back to that, whereas the new rules are just you randomly decide your stats and everything. So
maybe when maybe there's a new book on the way, and a new Black Legion book with some new Obliterator rules,
and maybe they're going to go back to that, which would be cool. That would definitely be interesting.
We talked about the Chaos Space Marines again. Those look like the Black Legion from Blackstone Fortress, which is super cool.
Very cool, very dynamic models. Yeah. And then, of course, like we said, there's a new Abaddon coming.
Abaddon. Okay, we got to talk about this one for a second.
Yeah.
The Abaddon model, I think, is like 25-ish years old, so it's getting there.
It's been a while.
It's old enough to drink at this point.
Yeah, definitely.
And
I mean, isn't the drinking age in the UK like only 16 or something?
Exactly.
Anyway?
So definitely old enough to drink in the UK.
I'm pretty sure like Katie.
And legal in the US now.
Yeah.
But they also teased that the Abaddon, the Talon of Horus, and that background picture as well for the warp, the new warp. Sorcerer, which also they showed off.
Yep.
So GW has this habit of showing off stuff in the art, and teasing it before we see the actual models. I bring that up because also in the Urban Conquest thing, if you look at we assume they were Reavers,
right?
But their bolters were different.
Yeah, they were a little weird.
And they've released artwork since then to go along with this to show off the new Vanguard Space Marines.
Right.
Now, Abe and I were talking about this. We don't know if the Vanguard... It's not 100% clear if, like, are these all new units? I mean, there are obviously some new models.
There are, obviously.
But it could also be a detachment.
Yeah.
Like a specialist detachment.
Getting into the Space Marines.
Yeah.
What we know is that the box...
What has been 100% confirmed.
Is featuring Vanguard Marines of some sort. Which, the description of Vanguard Marines sounded very much like Reavers, to me, honestly. It talks about how they operate far forward of the lines, and they do, like, terror tactics and stuff like that. And we know that they've announced 2 new models and two unit models and stuff.
Yeah, so there's the Vanguard Primaris Librarian.
Yep, who's like a stealthy, sneaky librarian.
Yeah, he's got like the cool camo cloak on, and then there's also the new Eliminators. Now, I think they were listed as Vanguard Eliminators, but in the article they referred to them specifically as Eliminators,
right.
And they are definitely like scout.
Yes.
Reaver-looking guys.
They're kind of they've got sniper rifles. They've got camo cloaks.
The difference is they don't have like the same mouth or head.
They don't have the same mouthpiece,
so they don't have that skull motif going on there.
Right.
They're not terror troops like Reavers are.
Mm-hmm.
And the artwork that they also released with that showcased what looked like some kind of Vanguard captain commander guy.
Yep.
He had a servo skull and he's got the cords across his chest like with the captain cloak.
There was definitely some kind of captain model there.
And then also they just showed off a bunch of other Marines. And this is where we were really kind of like speculating wildly on, because the other Marines in that box are on that artwork. I mean, they had armor that was kind of in the middle between Intercessor and Reaver armor.
Mm-hmm.
On top of that, if you look at their right shoulder pads, they've got the arrow to symbolize a troop choice arrow, which is also really curious.
But that's like a tactical choice. I mean, like, it's not necessarily troop. I mean, in 40K that means troop. Or in the codexes that means troops. But
it's pretty clear though. Like
in 40K that means like line squad, right?
But
tactical.
That's also. I mean, it's
right.
All of the intercessors and TAC Marines have the same arrow. That's typically.
But scouts don't have it.
Scouts don't have it,
even though they are troops. Right?
That's true. That is very true. So we're not quite sure, but I'm pretty confident that's going to be a troop choice.
We also don't know if the new librarian is actually new rules, or if it's just a model for a new Primaris librarian.
Yeah.
So the two competing thoughts are, and Adam I think was more on these are a new unit. Straight up.
I'm because the bolters are different.
Sure,
the bolters do look different.
And the armor's a little different.
The armor is weird because it's got the Reaver shoulder pads, but it's not Reaver.
It's not 100% Reaver.
Right.
Yeah. The way that they described Vanguard and that to me, sounded very much like a specialist attachment, like you saw in Vigilus 1, where this is a Vanguard specialist attachment you can take. There's going to be 2 new units, maybe more, but we know there's going to be the Eliminators and the new Librarian that are part of it. And that detachment is something you can take probably just for Primaris, maybe just for like Reavers, Eliminators, Librarians, and Captains. We don't know something, but it's going to be an attachment you can take that modifies the existing troops somehow, just like the Indominus Crusade veterans, for instance.
And Abe, you're not wrong. I don't think you're wrong in that. I think that. It totally could be the specialist detachment for those units,
right?
Because we got basically the specialist detachments for the Primaris Intercessors, right?
Exactly.
So it kind of fits.
It fits, and the way that they described it was weird because they talk about Vanguard and then they go, "Here are the Eliminators," and you're like, "Why are you telling me about the Vanguard if the Vanguard is a unit,
right?
Why are you telling me about the unit but then not telling me that's a unit that's coming?"
Yeah, and like a Vanguard Librarian can also like.
Right,
be part of the whole the overall
detachment. So we don't know what they're gonna. We don't know. Yeah, that's a speculation.
We're speculating a lot, but we do know for sure. Eliminators are a thing. Librarians a thing.
Yep.
The artwork hinted at other units,
or at least new sculpts for existing units. I mean, Vanguard Intercessors or Vanguard Reavers may just look slightly different.
Yeah, I'm excited either way.
I'm excited too.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be really interesting to see what this stuff is coming in.
Yeah,
because they're certainly going to release some rules with the box set like they've been doing. But
they're going to have to package those rules up eventually.
They're going to have to package, and this is what we get into some speculation and some interesting stuff here.
Yeah,
because those rules are coming in the box set. They put out little data cards.
They're going to have to do that,
which they've done for all the other ones. But they're normally not the full rules for the unit, right? They're normally like
it's like the unit rules, but it's not like the chapter tactics and all.
And it doesn't always have all the options on them,
or stratagems and stuff. Yeah.
Especially if they only come with like one weapon option in that box, but they have more. So we saw this with others. We've seen this with other stuff.
Yep.
So where are but they also probably are going to print these in a book. So the question is, where are these rules if you don't buy the box for these units going to be? An obvious option would be Vigilus 2.
Yep.
It's coming out around the same time as the box.
Yep.
So they could put these new units in there, just like they put Malleus Calgar, the Victrix Guard, and Harkoni War Claimer. Though that's going to seem to put a lot of... Because if they put new Abaddon rules, that's going to be that's a lot of units.
I also don't think it would make any sense from a business standpoint to put Abaddon in the box.
I agree. I think
Abaddon's going to be its own... He should be his own...
I think it's going to be his own thing. He didn't look like he was... They didn't say he was coming in the box.
It was just like a separate team.
Yeah, none of the artwork put him in that box, so I don't think he's in that.
And plus, how else are we going to get rules for that other Primaris Lieutenant?
It's true. Dead Lieutenant.
Dead Lieutenant on the base, plus one to Abaddon's dummy.
Yeah. But what if Abaddon kills the Lieutenant? He gets
that'd
plus
be great.
attack.
That'd be great. Anyway,
so the rules and stuff could come in Vigilus 2, which would be a good place to put a specialist attachment.
Sure. And we've talked about Vigilus 2's. It's going to have more detachments.
Though on the other hand, they already put out a lot of Space Marine stuff in Vigilus 1. So Vigilus 2 is just Chaos Marines and more Space Marine stuff.
I think it'll have other... We'll see.
We'll see
where they take the storyline to.
That's a possible one. Another option is, if you look back at most of the box sets that have come out, like this one, pretty soon after them, you've had Codex releases for those.
That's very true.
If you look back to Tooth and Claw, you had the you had Genesis of the Cult come right after it. If you look back to the one with the Mechanicus and it had the Armiger in it, Forge Bane. Right after that, you had the Night book come out.
Yep.
So it's not impossible that you could get, especially with so many new units and possibly more units being hinted at, that you could get what we've heard rumors of. There's been rumors of a new Space Marine book or a Primaris book. We've heard rumors of a new Chaos book. Those were the first two books to come out.
We will see.
So entirely possible.
I would love to see a Black Legion Codex book.
Sure,
that would be
a Black Legion Codex or something like that. So it'll be interesting to see where all these new units actually come up. Because here's the other thing.
Yeah.
Let's assume that this stuff came out in Vigilus, okay?
Okay.
In Vigilus 2. Let's just assume for a second. If I want to play if I want to start a new Space Marine army.
Okay.
I'm a brand new player to the game.
Yep.
And I go, man, I really like the look of these Primaris guys.
Sure.
So I want to play Primaris Marines. They're the new cool thing, right?
Yep.
And I want to take an Eliminator.
And I want to play Crimson Fist on top of that.
Well, no, I just want to play Ultramarines. Let's just say I just want to play Ultramarines. This is the most basic army you could think of in 40K, right?
Okay.
Space Marines,
picturing it now.
Ultramarine Space Marines, right?
Ultramarine
and you're like,
Space Marines.
man, I want to use the new stuff. I like these Intercessors. They're cool. I like these new Snipers. I like this new Manius Calgar guy.
Sure.
I'm playing pure Primaris. This is, again, the most boring thing you could think of in some ways, right?
Sure.
But the most basic. This is literally the poster army.
The poster army, sure.
This is literally the poster army. You would need the Space Marine Codex.
Yep.
You would need Vigilus 1 for Calgar, and you need Vigilus 2 for these new Vanguard stuff. That's 3 hardback books. That's not counting rule books. That's not counting indexes. That's not counting anything else, right?
That's true.
That's a minimum right there. Just to play Primaris Ultramarines.
Yeah.
As basic as it gets. No soup,
frills.
No frills. No soup. No reaching for strange things.
2 box sets and a codex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's, two supplement hardback books.
Yeah.
And a codex book. That's going to be a lot, right?
Yeah, it'd be 1 box set. Because you need to get the models too.
You need the models.
That's assuming the models are
but just talk about the rules.
Just the rules, yeah.
If
3
these
books.
rules were in Vigilus 2, you need both Vigiluses and that. So that's a really spread out amount of rules for nothing, no stretches, right?
It just feels like it would be another option would be to collate all these things into a new codex.
Sure,
a new
codex, right?
Codex.
Even if you don't change much about the codex, if you just take some time to do some tweaks,
just make it all in one spot. They can incorporate a lot of the chapter approved points adjustments.
They can do all that.
Maybe the new beta bolter rule that they dropped.
That's another thing. Is
they dropped it randomly out of the blue.
Yep, and where is that going to be? That's a beta, but where's it going to come in normally? It wasn't a beta for a FAQ.
Nope.
Is it just going to be an FAQ? We don't know.
We'll see. You want to play a little number game with me real fast?
Sure.
Shadow Spear, I think, is going to be a super hot seller.
I think it's going to be real. Yeah.
Do you want to spitball price points on it?
What do you think?
I think it's going to be, I have no idea what's in the box.
Yeah, we don't even know what's in the box.
So I'm going to say 160 because that seems to be 150, 160. I'm going to go 160. I'm calling it now. We have nothing else to base it on.
Sure. We'll have to see what's in it. I mean,
go higher or lower. You think I'm upper, higher? What do you think? What's the over under, Abe?
What's the over under? I think we have to. I don't know what's in it to even guess.
I definitely don't think it's gonna be $100 because based on the
because if we think about the cast Space Marine side alone, right?
Yeah,
it's probably gonna have at least 10 cast Space Marines.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? Like, let's say, like, at least 10 Chaos Space Marines.
The Venom Crawler.
The Venom Crawler.
Probably 3 Obliterators.
Something like that.
A character.
And then a character. So that right there is like a good $100.
That's
right?
got to be at least $100.
If you bought that. And then if we assume... And that's at the very minimum. That's saying they're not giving us like 20 new Space Marines, right?
Sure. Which I don't... Yeah.
Who knows? But
who knows?
I don't think... I think with new Chaos Space Marine models, we're going to see at least 10, right? It would be very weird to me to have a new box with only 5.
Or, yeah, they could go some weird number like 7 or 8 or something. I don't know.
I don't think they will.
But... And then another, it's got to be another $100 for Primaris Marines, whatever's in that side of the house.
If this is supposed to be, and again, this is kind of like it seems like this is almost aiming to be a core set 2.0, right? This is a Dark Imperium 2.0. This is going back to the core things, and maybe the idea would probably be that you can buy this and get into the game.
That would make sense to me. Like,
right?
That seems like...
And that's why they're going Chaos Space Marines rather than necessarily doing Nurgle again or something, right?
The other Dark Imperium was Space Marines Death Guard, and this one's Space Marines Black Legion, so...
Right. It's a little... But Black Legion is a little more mainstream than Death Guard. But...
Yeah. And it's all new sculpts.
It's all new sculpts.
That's why I'm saying 160...
Dark Imperium was all new sculpts, right? Because it was all new units.
That's true. Basically. That's true. Were the Death Guard new units, though? I mean...
Yeah. Death Guard were new sculpts, though.
That's fair.
They were new sculpts. So
I think,
this seems very similar to me to Dark Imperium 2.0.
Which was 160-ish?
Something like that.
So I think it's not going to be any cheaper than that. I don't think it's going to be any more expensive than like $200.
Unless this is like a really weird big box. Unless they put a bunch of basic...
It'd have to be like
something
ginormous, too. But just based on their pricing model, I'm saying 160.
Well, that's probably not bad.
I have nothing else to base that on. It's total speculation.
So, talking about more concrete stuff and the meta that this could change, let's talk about LVO meta and what we saw there.
Yes.
So, winning list, Astra Militarum.
And you actually really like this Astra Militarum list, right?
Yeah, so the Brandon Grant, right?
Yeah, I think that's...
Brandon
Congratulations, by the way.
Yeah, Brandon, I know is his name.
Yeah, first name was definitely Brandon.
Yeah.
Second name we think was Grant.
It was Grant. We'll get it here.
But congratulations on the win. That's a big deal. By the way, if you don't know, LVO had a 661 registered players for the LVO 40K champs.
Yep.
661 players.
That's a huge amount.
A lot of players.
And that's just 40K.
And I think the vast majority of them actually showed up too.
Yeah. So they also had a big Age of Sigmar tournament.
Yeah.
And other
massive turnout. Massive.
There was a big Kill Team tournament too.
Yeah, that's cool.
There was Kill Team, there was Shadespire, so this is a big event.
But like that was the big grand show, the big
40K
champs was a big deal. It was a 9-round event. It was a little weird with round 7. We're going to get into that.
Yeah.
But the winner went completely undefeated.
Yep.
Brandon Grant.
And he won. The final game he played against Yannari list was Alex Harrison. He won by like 2 points.
Yeah, super close.
But it was
so close.
If you watch the game, it was an incredibly close game.
Yeah.
And after turn 2, almost everyone called it for the Eldar.
Wow.
And Brandon Grant pulled it out at the end. So, the top 10 at the event. This is the part I don't like, okay?
Sure.
Top 10 were 3 Astra Militarum and Knight Soup lists.
Yeah.
So Imperial Soup 1, Adeptus Mechanicus, and Knight Soup list. All of these had a Castellan in it.
Okay.
So that's 4 basically Imperial Soup with Castellan lists. There was a Adeptus Astartes, a Space Marine list there. I don't know what was in it. I don't know if it had a Titan or not, or another Castellan or not.
It may have been a Soup list as well. We can't confirm that.
But I know that 4 of the lists had Castellans. This is the top 10. 3 of the lists were Yannari Soup, or Eldar Soup lists. Which is what we had seen one last year, right?
Yep.
Though they have changed a little bit. These are flyer heavy lists now.
Yeah, which was an interesting change.
Which is an interesting. We'll talk about that. So that's 8 of the top 10. Then there was a single Tau list.
Yep.
Which got up there. And then there was a Chaos Demon list.
Chaos Demons.
The only Chaos list in the top 10.
Yep.
That
was 9, and then the last
that's
one...
10.
That was 10?
Yeah, there's 4...
Oh, yeah, 8 and 10,
and then the Space Marine. And that was... Death. What's his name?
Yes, Mr. Death.
Mr. Death.
Josh
Death. Yeah.
Josh.
He was playing the Chaos Demon list, and he's an amazing player.
I don't remember if his name was Josh or not, but I'm going to call him Mr. Death.
I think his name is Josh. He's a really good player. He did well. He's done. Last year he was running a Poxwalker. He ran a very interesting list that I wrote about last year. I don't know if it was at LVO or another big event, but he ran it.
I remember.
It had the big Aquila Strongbolt with the Vortex missiles, and then he had Poxwalkers and horrors, so that he could the horrors could die like 3 times and turn into a bunch of Poxwalkers. Yeah. Very interesting list, like the Plague Blossom list, I think called it.
So, but if you go break down by faction 2, you've got 5 Imperials, 3 Eldari or Ynnari Eldari,
they're all Ynnari too.
Chaos Demons and Tau.
Yeah.
That's the 10
that's
there.
That's the top 10. So there's a big surprise. I don't think anyone's surprised that Imperial Soup and Ynnari did well.
No.
The 2 big surprises are the Tau player. That's a big surprise.
That's a curveball.
In a sense. He was in the top 10 last year, apparently.
Yep.
He's a really good player. So I think that just goes to show that really good players...
Just to be fair, all of the players in the top 10 are going to be good players.
So a really good player can get up there. He didn't win or anything. Congratulations on getting that far.
Still beat 650 plus players.
So, like I said, it's an amazing accomplishment. It shows that there is a level to me that a really good player with a subpar army can still do well. Yeah. Again, generally what happens is when a really good player with a subpar army runs into a really good player with a really good army, which seems to be what happened here.
Yeah. And I'm going to note that it was a single Codex army.
It was.
Thank you, Mars, for that clarification.
Which is probably the only single mono Codex army that was in the top 10. So he did really good. The big surprise, I think, to a lot of people, was that Orcs didn't make an appearance on top 10.
Yeah.
Going into LVO, a lot of people out there...
were worried about that, the Luda Star and all that other stuff.
Yeah, we're saying that Orcs were going to be sweeping the meta and taking over. I didn't really think so myself. We'll see if that changes as more...
They're very swingy.
They're very swingy, and they were good. And I mean, Nick Donavanti was playing Orcs. He won last year. This true. It's not like none of the good players took Orcs.
Yeah.
So there were good players with Orcs who lost games and didn't make it up there. That happens. One of the things people have talked about is these scatter bike lists, which is what the second player had.
Yeah.
A big unit of Wind Riders called scatter lasers that can fire twice. They put out a ton of firepower.
I mean, that's circling back, because I remember the scatter laser jet bikes were a thing edition or 2 ago.
Yep.
And now they've circled back around, and people are, hey, lots of strength 6 shots. Turns out still good.
Turns out, and actually, these lists remind me a lot of 7th edition lists. So let's talk about the two top lists, though. So Brandon Grant, he was playing an Ashen Militarum list.
What did you like specifically about this? Because we were talking about this earlier.
This is a departure from the Imperial Soup list we saw a lot last year, right?
Sure.
The classic Imperial Soup list that we saw a lot last year that was not winning tournaments, but was doing really good.
Knight.
Yep.
Probably a Castellan. Loyal 32.
Yep.
Smash Captains.
From Blood Angels. And generally it was like, a lot of times it was like actually 3 Knights, right? It was like a Castellan, a couple of Gallants or something like that. Yeah. Loyal 32, minimum detachments of supporting
5
troops.
Scouts, 2 or 3 captains, whatever.
2 or 3 Smash
Captains. You guys know what we're talking about.
That was what we saw a lot. Brandon's list it's an Ashen Militarum list, right?
This is what we like. This is what you like about it.
So he has a full brigade of Ashen Militarum. He's got 6 infantry squads, commanders, Strachan, Wyverns, mortars, Rough Riders, Hellhounds.
Yeah.
It is a brigade, and then there is a single Knight Castellan attached to it.
Yeah.
Which, I don't love the Castellan, but it's a better... To me, this is a better soup list than... Like, that's a soup list that makes sense to me, and that fits the fluff to a degree, right? Like, a big Ashen Militarum attachment with a bunch of infantry.
It's hard to say that it's not more fitting to the fluff.
Right.
I'll give you that one.
If I was a Games Workshop designer, this seems to be the kind of list that I would want to see. Like, they allow mixed lists, they allow soup. This is what I'd want. Like, you built
big,
knights.
Heavy thing, and you have a knight.
Yeah, like, they made knights so that you can take 1 knight in your other army, right? Like, that's kind of the idea.
That was exactly.
So, seeing a list that's actually a lot of infantry and a fleshed out list that's not just bare minimums of detachments to get points, that actually put points into stuff. And had a lot of more. Oh, and he also had like 6 Augurin, Bulgrins in the list.
Bulgrins, man.
Astropath and Priest, so there's a lot of stuff going on. And some of this is to cheap out the Rough Riders there because they're cheap.
Sure.
The infantry squads don't have any upgrades. They're just basic infantry squads. This is all true. Whether you think that's a problem or not, that's up to you. But this is perhaps not the perfect fluffy list, but it's much closer than what we've seen.
Yeah.
Now,
I think also to an extent too, the fluff the fluffiness of a list is kind of in the eyes of the beholder too.
It definitely is, but I mean, it's better than like the Loyal 32, just throwing in there to get command points, right?
It's true. It's not just a bare minimum, and we appreciate that. So Brandon,
it's 1,400 points worth of guard and 600 points worth of knight. So this is legit. Again, I don't. If this was the only guard list that had got to the top 10 or 1 or 2, I would like it a lot more. Considering that there were again 5 Imperial lists in the top 10, at least 4 of them had Castellans.
Right.
We're definitely seeing a trend there. There were different ones. The Admech list had 6 Sidonian Dragoons.
That was cool.
So that's definitely
we actually really liked that list too.
That's a cool different thing too. Again, the fact that a Castellan is needed to do good, that's kind of sad. But again, that list sort of reminds me of the list that you saw back in 7th.
Sure.
Back before you had as many variants of knights, and where they were a little more like, I have one knight in my list.
Right, I have a knight Lord of War ally dude, that's it.
Yeah, and then you had your list. So that seemed more like a 7th edition list. Yeah. Now, the Ynnari list that came very close to beating him in this last game.
Yeah.
This again kind of reminds me of a 7th edition list.
Yeah.
Because it has 7 flyers in it.
Yeah. Oh, the flashbacks.
This list does not have any Dark Reapers in it.
Which is surprising to me and a lot of other folks. Was like, wait, what?
At least one of the other of the. I know that there was 3 Eldar lists. I only know what 2 of them were. I don't know the third one. I know one of the other one had 4 flyers, but it also had Dark Reapers in it.
Sure.
So there were Dark Reapers in the top 10. They're not gone or anything.
No.
But so this is again where no one was surprised that Eldar and Ynnari would be in the top 10. But this is a different list from the ones that we saw last year, at least.
Yeah.
So with this list, you've got your Farseer and your Warlock Skyrunner, which is what we expect to see.
We then with Yvraine, which
there is Yvraine.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like I haven't seen her in a list in a while.
No, she's on all the Ynnari lists.
And I haven't seen her though. It's cool. It's like she shows up.
Well, she does. She's the one who does the two shoot.
Let me rephrase. I don't see her very often with the mixed Assyriani stuff.
Sure, you see her in Ynnari. You don't see her in all the mixed
but
Assyriani.
this is a Ynnari. Yeah. Anyway,
but she's the shoot twice lady. That's what you see her for.
That's what you see her for.
Cat lady's there. Storm Guardians are people were like, oh, it's a surprise we're seeing Storm Guardians. They got a point drop in chapter approved, so they're a really cheap choice. So they are kind of replacing Rangers in some rooms because you can take 8 for like 12 points less than 5 Rangers, and if you're hiding in the back to grab objectives,
you don't care anyway.
They're just as good. Bigger changes are the Wind Rider. So this has 2 squads of 9 Wind Riders with scatter lasers.
Yeah, which are mean.
Which is a lot of shots.
Yeah. 4 shots each, right?
I think it's 4 shots each.
Yeah, shrink 6, 4 shots.
Yeah, pretty good. And again, if you're shooting twice, this is the clear infantry and chaff out of the way.
Yeah.
And then it has 3 Razor Wings. This is the Drakari Cabal of the Black Heart detachment, so that you can use Vect.
Right.
Which he did. I think he used it twice in one turn, in fact, in the final game. And then you have... they also have an Airing detachment, which has 3 Crimson Hunter Exarchs and a Hemlock. So this is 7 flyers in this game. And it's... I mean, this is...
3 Crimson Hunters and a Hemlock.
Yeah.
Golly.
So there's 7 flyers, even though for some reason his list says 8. There's only 7.
Yeah.
If you read his list, it skips 4 for some reason. Yeah.
You don't need that 4.
But this is a different Eldari list than what we had seen in the past.
Yeah.
The Ravagers are gone, right? Normally you would see 3 Ravagers.
Yeah, Ravagers.
So I know the other Eldari list had 4 flyers, 3 Ravagers.
Sorry, I said Ynnari. Sorry, I meant Eldari list. You don't typically see Yvraine.
Yeah.
It's all the A's get mixed up.
Yeah. All the A's. So one of the other ones had 4 flyers, the Dark Reapers, and 3 Ravagers. This is a little newer version.
Yeah.
And that's why he lost, actually. If you watch the game, he couldn't take objectives. He was winning. He killed the knight. He killed the Castellan on like turn 2.
Yep.
Blew it up pretty early.
That's why everybody thought they were going to call it for.
They were going to call him. They go, oh, the Castellan's dead, and it's a bunch of infantry. They can't kill the flyers, and they didn't. He killed like 2 or 3 of the flyers.
Yeah.
And he got chopped up, but because he had infantry, and Brandon played it really well, he went after the Wind Riders with his knight before he went after the flyers. He killed off a lot of the anti-infantry firepower.
So they just couldn't dish out enough damage.
Right.
The things that were designed to deal with mass infantry were dead, so that they couldn't then do that, so that he could hold objectives.
And they thought there was a chance that he was actually going to table the flyer player by killing all his boots on the ground.
Yeah.
He didn't, but But every turn, if you look at it, he's like, I control 4 objectives. I'm getting all these bonus points. And again, it came down to like 1 or 2 points away from the difference. So it's really small. Long story short, extremely well played by both players. Yep. Brandon just pulled it out in the end. It was a very tough, very close game. It's going to go down in the record books. It was a good game. Better than some that we've seen. Yeah. Honestly, there wasn't... but again, I think what's interesting is that the top factions haven't changed, right? Yeah. The lists have evolved. You're still seeing elements of the same lists. Yeah. If Rain still was in the top lists, top Eldari list or top Ynnari list last year, she's still in those. Yep. Knights were part of the top, especially Castellans once they came out, were part of the top lists. They're still in those. Yeah. But what's around them is changing, adapting. Yeah. But it's, the prevalence of Dark Reavers is not as high as it was. Not as high as it was from last year's LVO. Yep. But the factions aren't changing. It's still Imperial Soup. It's still Ynnari that are up there. Yeah. Ynnari, Eldari, however you want to call them. Yeah. They're still around. I think they're still really good. I think all 3 of the top did have your Rain in them. In the top 10. All 3 of them. I believe you, Abe. Yeah. So you're still seeing the same. Maybe that's why like the other lists that weren't in the top 10 because they didn't take your Rain. They didn't. Yeah. I don't know. The ones I saw. I think they said they were like, which again, depending on how you think of it as high or low, there was like 67 Castellans at the event. Yeah. We had some boots on the ground that counted. Yeah, and so 60 plus Castellans. Yeah, so about 10% of the armies had a Castellan. Yeah. That doesn't count all knights, so there were probably more armies with knights. Sure. So, I don't know. Do you think 10% to have this one model is high or low? I don't know. Considering the fact that there were 661 registered players. Yeah. I mean, considering how good the Castellan is, that seems low to me. And considering that we had tournaments that had like 150 of them, or 150 knight lists show up before. Yeah. So it seems low to me, but again, considering how many people there were there, maybe not. Real quick, before we swap over, other stuff, real briefly, the other stuff that was announced at LVO, there was so much other stuff. There was the warband for Night Vault, for Warhammer Underworlds, the Sylvaneth Nightman was showed off. There's another event, Warcry, I think, is coming for Age of Sigmar. We're getting at least 4. There's one every faction, every Grand Alliance is getting a new battle tome this year. Yeah, we know that. There's just so much more stuff. New Khorne, right? It's new Khorne. The Blades of Khorne are getting a new book. Yep, that was announced too. But yeah. There's so much cool stuff at LVO. A lot of cool stuff at LVO. Go check us out on our main website. I'll be writing more. Check me out tomorrow. I'll be writing more about the list and stuff. But let's pivot from LVO to Age of Sigmar. And we're going to introduce a new face here at Bowls, a new guest. Clint, come on down. Clint is a new regular here at Bowls. How's it going, man?
Hey.
Welcome. Introduce you. Who are you?
I am Clint Leno. I'm originally from North Carolina, and yes, I am new to Bowls, and been going to be writing some stuff for you for Age of Sigmar.
Yes, Age of Sigmar stuff. And you, tell us a little bit, how long have you been playing and all that jazz?
I started playing Fantasy in 2005. Okay. And then when Age of Sigmar Volume 1 came out, I kind of got out of it for a little while. Sure.
Most of us did.
Yeah, well. And then Soul Wars actually came out. Yeah. And my fiance and I picked that up, and we found that Age of Sigmar had really improved for 2nd edition, so we came back for that, for 2nd edition. I took the Night Haunt. Night Haunt, yep. Now, the reason that I'm very excited about this particular one is because my original army was Skaven back in Fantasy, and I have been waiting for this book for so long, like since I got Soul Wars, and I'm so excited.
Yeah, you've got a chance to sit down with it, just a brief chance here. Was there anything that just jumped out at you like, yes, this is so awesome now?
You know, actually the clan abilities, like each clan has its own like special thing they can do, like Clan Scryer gets the Warpstone tokens. Yeah. And what I liked about it is that it's not like if your army is Clan Scryer, you get this. It's Clan Scryer gets this. Yeah. And then Clan Verminus gets this. So all of your clans mesh together. Awesome. And they really get like their own abilities, but they carry their own abilities into the greater force, I guess.
Absolutely. Yeah, so it's cool because like each one of those clans are distinct from each other, but then they can kind of work all together and do crazy cool stuff.
Yeah. And it's super cool. And I dabbled a little bit when in the General's Handbook they brought out the Scryer like army list. I dabbled with that a little bit, and I liked the Archvolt Coven, but
Yeah.
I wasn't really sure about it. I really think they have improved the way the covens work in this new book. Because instead of like, okay, now my Warp Lightning Cannon can fire in the hero phase, but it might just blow itself up. Now the Warp Lightning Cannon gets stronger if you use that ability, and it's super cool, and I like that. Yeah,
I've noticed too that both of these books actually got a lot of tweaks like that.
Yeah.
So while they didn't get a ton of new models and units in the army, some of they got a couple of tweaks to existing units to make them renamed. Like the Skaven Assassin has been renamed in this book to
the Deathmaster.
The Deathmaster, yeah. And his rules are tweaked different from the Skaven Assassin. So go check. Point is, go look at when you get a chance. Go look at both of these books if you play either of these armies.
For sure,
there are tweaks to your army that you may not realize at first.
Yeah.
Just because you didn't get a bunch of new models, there are a lot of little changes, and I think they really did a good job improving both of these armies.
For sure, absolutely. Yeah. The Skaven are far and beyond so much better than they were when they were just a Chaos Army.
Absolutely. And you guys did get the Warlock Bombardier in this, which is the cool new rocket launcher dude from Carrion Empire, which we also have down here. And then Flesh Eater Court's got the Arch Regent.
The Aberrant Arch Regent.
Aberrant Arch Regent. Ugh, it's a mouthful. The Ghoul King guy, which is super cool. And they also each got a new piece of terrain, which we have.
Yeah.
Actually, down there. If you can grab the one down there for you. Mm-hmm. We got all the stuff underneath us. So the Skaven got the Gnaw Holes, which we'll talk about here in a second.
Yeah.
And the Flesh Eater Court's got the Coven Throne, which is super cool.
Yeah.
Which is cool because the Ghoul Kings can hop up on it and then summon more units to the battlefield, which is a pretty cool ability. And then you also got got the switch here. We also got all of the new endless spells for each faction, which are super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you get a chance to check those out?
I did, yeah. And I'm really excited for specifically these two, the Warp Lightning Vortex and the Vermintide, because one of my things with running endless spells, and usually when I run endless spells in my army, I'm a little leery because it's okay, well, this could just turn around on me if I get first turn. But Vermintide doesn't do that.
Yeah.
Skaven-type units are not affected by Vermintide.
That's super cool.
It's great. And
because is it a Ravenous spell, so it's just going to keep...
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll move around.
Yeah. And you're immune to it, so you're like, oh, I don't care if it comes back.
And we can move over it as if we had fly. Ooh. So we just ignore it. But then the Warp Lightning Vortex actually doesn't move.
Yeah.
But where you position each one, if you can position a unit in the middle, it'll take more damage. And units that are within 6 inches of any of the models, they can't run and they can't fly.
So very nice. Super cool. It kind of holds you down while the Skaven come and gnaw on you. I love it. And then did you get a chance to check out the Gnaw Holes at all?
I did. So the Gnaw Holes are sorry.
Hang on, I want to show this off because I really like these kits.
No, for sure.
Yeah. Keep going.
They're adorable because the thing about that's the only way I can say it.
Yeah.
But the way the Skaven used to work is they were underground. They were the threat underground, and that doesn't really work when your world is split into realms. So now we have these Gnaw Holes.
I love these things.
And the way they work is it's basically like a hole between the realms.
Yeah.
So if you've got a unit and a hero next to one of these Gnaw Holes, you can jump the unit into the Gnaw Hole, and then it can shoot out within 6 inches of any other Gnaw Hole on the table.
Right.
As long as you're with, of course, 9 inches away from enemy models.
Sure. But, they still have that little bit of a range restriction. What I liked about these kits, too, is they're actually really easy to build.
Yeah.
They look really cool, and I think even if you're not a Skaven player, throwing a couple of these on your table would still look cool.
Yeah, it'll look
You don't
great.
have to use the rules if you're playing with them. Just have to use them as terrain.
Because the Skaven are still there.
Yeah, exactly.
They maybe just left this hole. Also, the Gnaw Holes are a lot bigger than I thought they were going to be. They're big models.
They are big. As you can see here, Mars got them pulled up there. They have the two little swirls that kind of connect in the middle. Mm-hmm. And then if you look on this sprue right here, there's a whole bunch of these wood planks everywhere that you can you're supposed to glue them together in that Skaven triangle thing, but you can kind of customize them and make them look different too, which I think is really, really neat. They have the big the rocks on the sides too, which that's kind of where they've tunneled up and exploded out all the rocks and stuff from the realm. Well, it's just a really cool looking kit, and I'm excited to see. I want to play some games with it. I'm not a Skaven player, but I would love to play on a table with those.
Yeah.
So,
And I like that. I like that the wood planks still look like what they do, because it's like, it's something that the Skaven just scavenged. They just chewed this off of a building and latched it on, right. And I love that.
Yeah,
it's so cool.
It is. It's a really cool kit. I can't wait to get some games in with it now too. And then of course, all of these kits come with the rules too. We're good, Mars. Anyway, Flesh Eater Quartz. Let's talk them real fast. I don't know if you got a lot of time to check this one out.
Not as much, but I did a little bit.
Cool. So, I guess we should talk about this thing that I kind of pointed out.
Yeah.
Like, when we got the books, I was like, haha, the undead horses, haha, there's 5 of them, and they're in the old lance formation from Etonian there. Mars, can you zoom in on this real quick? So, I pointed this out when we opened the box. I was like, oh, this is funny, Larry. Look at this. They totally like haha to Vertonian players, right? Well, it doesn't just stop there.
Yeah.
This is the old lance formation that I don't know if you played back in like 5th.
Yeah.
So that's the Bretonnians could do this formation where they set up their cavalry charges in the lance and they got special bonuses. Well, that's the exact same formation they would use. That's was joke number 1, and I just wrote it off at first like, oh, that's kind of funny. Well, that sure looks like a holy grail.
It does look like
unholy.
the grail.
Yeah. So they've got that going on, and then on top of that, if you look at the structure here, what is that one called? The Cadaverous Barricade. That is like the defensive spikes that Bretonnians used to use for their archers. And I was like, okay, this can't be a coincidence now. That's 3 things. And then...
But wait, there's more.
There's more. If you look closely at each one of these things, they have a fleur-de-lis on them. And I was like, wait a second. Look at the throne. The charnel throne. Right? It's got a coat of arms on it. You know who had coat of arms? Bretonia. And then you flip it over on the back, and if you look real close, right there, the floor is a bunch more fleur-de-lis. Like, okay, GW, either the Bretonians made it, either the Bretonians survived the Mortal Realms, or somebody at GW is having a big joke.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I mean,
internal
the Bretonians survived.
They survived. Yeah, they totally came back. So it's funny. They're called the Flesh Eater Courts. They're a bunch of nobles, and they run their little realms and stuff. So like the parallels and like the in joke is that the Bretonians lived.
Yeah,
they survived mostly. Just
survived by eating each other.
They're dead. Yeah. So hey, Bretonians back, everybody. So it's just a funny, interesting thing we noticed for the Flesh Eater Courts. And their abilities in here with the different courts and stuff like that.
Yeah. And their delusions. I thought the delusion was really cool.
I thought, It's an interesting army mechanic for these guys. Yeah. So we'll get into that later this week too on the main site. So come check us out. But just something I'm gonna be talking about that. Point that out later on. The last thing I want to check out and show off is Carrion Empire.
Oh, for sure.
Let's put all this down for a second. We'll be talking about all this cool stuff again later on. Carrion Empire is also down here. Boom! We got all the goodies this past week. So, as you can see, it was a big box, a new kind of starter battle box, kind of like Soul War was.
Yeah.
Of course. Inside the box, you get a ton of cool stuff. You get all the data cards that you have here. This box is interesting too because for the Skaven side, it's Clan Scryer and it's mostly like war machines.
Yeah.
Which is cool. It's got the Storm Vermin guys. The
Storm Fiends.
Storm Fiends, thank you, yeah. The big... Oh, I really like those models.
Yeah, they're so cool.
So, they've got the Storm Fiends. It's got the 2 new special characters, the Aberrant Archregent, and again, the Warlock Bombardier, which is super cool.
I love that model so much. He's just so happy.
He's like so metal and like... It's like steampunk metal, rat dude firing... This is cool. They've got the a bunch of tokens and stuff in here for you. Again, you get the core rules, the big Carrion Empire campaign book, which has just got kind of like the art of the units painted up and all that fun stuff. A couple of missions to play as well. The big art piece, which is nice. And then we get just a crap load of models. Mars, can you zoom in on this? We're not going to go through all of them on the stream right now. We did an unboxing over the weekend of all this stuff, but it's so cool. It's just packed full of cool, like Crypt Fiends and Crypt Horrors and maybe I am going to tear through this, but
one of the original models that drew me to Skaven right there is the Doom Wheel.
The Doom Wheel, yeah. It's that crazy gyroscope infused sort of, I don't
hamster
even know.
Wheel of death.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's so cool. And then you get the two characters, which are right here. We'll swap those out, but yeah, it's a good box. If you're looking to start a Flesh Eater Quartz army, I think it's a great stopping point. I think if you have Skaven, but you're missing a war engine or two, I mean...
Well, and it's good like if you want to focus on Scryer, because in a Scryer army, the Storm Fiend's a battle line.
Oh!
So if you want to go with just a Scryer army, you can get this, pick it up, start adding up to a Scryer army.
I didn't even realize they changed those over to battle line. That's awesome!
Yeah,
oh, this just got way more interesting. Because when the box was first announced and we saw the pictures of it, we were kind of like, oh man, it's pretty obvious that you're going to get like, you know, a Flesh Eater Quartz kind of starter army. But now that the Storm Fiends are in battle line, you are also getting Clan Scryer. Oh, that's so good now. Wow, my opinion of this box just went up even more. Because they do have battalions for these two forces. But I didn't realize the Storm Fiends were...
They're battle line now, yeah.
Guys, 2 starter armies in this box too. Wow, that's even better. So, I don't know what to say, man. I just want to build these models too.
Yeah,
the Storm Fiends are excellent. Did you run Storm Fiends before? Or was that
I did. Yeah, I have. Well, sort of. I have one box of Storm Fiends.
Okay.
Kind of just sitting at my house that I just finished rebasing.
Okay.
So yeah, but they're great models. They're so like characterful and
for
all
sure.
the weapons are good. And I like that now because in the General's Handbook, when you built them, you could build them all with the same weapon.
Yeah.
And so a lot of like the underused weapons were just kind of getting swept to the side. But now you have to build them as one of each.
Yes.
A third of them have to have a certain thing. A third of them have to have a certain thing. So it's gonna. I feel like that's gonna give more bang for your buck buying that box, because then you don't have to be like, all right, I want to use all warp fire throwers. I got to go to eBay, get warp fire thrower pieces. You can just be like, all right, I have a unit of Storm Fiends. Boom, there we go.
Even better. Do we have a question?
Yes, we do. We've actually got somebody who's interested in getting into Age of Sigmar because of this set, and they're wondering balance kind of between narrative and competitive. What's the competitive scene like for AOS right now?
Ooh, on the whole, man. How would you describe the competitive scene right now overall? I think it's actually really in a good spot.
Yeah, it is. Especially with all of the bugs we've had, like Wrath and Rapture, Soul Wars. A lot of people are getting back in because we're getting a lot of, and with the Battle Tomes getting remade, it's a really great place to come into competitive play because everything that had been outdated is getting updated.
Yep.
Whatever Grand Alliance you want to play, Order, Destruction, Chaos, anything, there's something for you.
Yeah, there's something there, and there's something viable too.
Yeah.
One of the really cool things that I personally like, I play Chaos, right? So one of the things I like running a lot of Chaos Warriors, and like a block of 20 Chaos Warriors used to be good, but not like super scary. But now they're like a block of 20 Warriors can take on a great and clean one and have a shot. Like it's no longer like, I summoned my big demon and he's going to kill my whole, the other guy summoned the demon, the big great and clean one, he's going to kill my whole battle line. It's like, no, my chump dudes will get in there and mix it up with you, and I may not kill you outright, but I'm going to put some hurt on you. And it feels more back and forth, especially I think what lends itself to that in Age of Sigmar too is the double turn. Or the fear of the double turn, I should say, because you got to plan for that. You got to think about that in the back of your mind constantly. It's just a little bit more balanced. You can't really alpha strike somebody off the table with like a Knight Castellan and 40k. They don't have that right now in Age of Sigmar, and I think it's in a really good spot. So if you are interested in getting into the competitive side of Age of Sigmar, now's a great time to do it.
Yeah, and this will be a great starter box because both of the armies are they're really viable. Like Flesh Eater Courts have a lot of cool stuff going for them, but especially with the new book, Skaven do too, because I remember back in the day, Clan Rats were just kind of your chaff.
Right.
But now, if you take a big block of Clan Rats, if you have more than 20, they get +1 to attack. If you get more than 30, they have +1 to wound.
Yeah.
And their bravery is going to go up so high, it's going to be really hard to break them.
Exactly.
So, this is a great start for someone getting into Age of Sigmar.
Absolutely. Yeah, even the other box sets we mentioned too, the Wrath and Rapture, that's a great box set just because it's so widely, you can use that for 40k fantasy, and it's that one's a great value just by itself.
Yeah, and that and Rapturous is so good.
Yeah, but for sure. Like if I had to recommend a box set for like a completely new player, like I just want to get in and I want to play both games, what I do is like get Wrath of Rapture.
Get Wrath of Rapture, yeah.
Yeah, but Carrion Empire, like you said, it's a lot of really cool stuff in there. Yeah, I feel like Age of Sigmar 2.0, like you said, when you came back to it, you know, it's a lot of improvements with Soul War when it came out. It feels like a really good spot right now.
I think they really fixed what I had issues with, at least in first edition with second edition. A lot of things more balanced.
Yeah.
And
it's like you said, the new battle tomes are coming out. They're fixing or tweaking things, even if they aren't completely adding like 100 new units or whatever. They're tweaking the existing things so that you can play your old army and have a chance and have a pretty good chance now.
Yeah.
And have a fun game, I think, is even more important.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah. You never feel like you're so outclassed that you just, why did I bother showing up?
Yeah.
So it can happen in some other games. So, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we have any other questions, Mars? Or yeah. So if you are looking to get this new box set, it's up for pre-order. Came out for pre-order this weekend. It should be out in stores this weekend.
Yeah.
So yeah, go check it out. Yes. It's gonna be a good week.
It is. It's gonna be a real good week for gaming. Yeah.
Yeah, and we're gonna be talking about all this stuff, more detail throughout the week as well. So come check us out. I think that about wraps it up today. It was a busy weekend.
Yeah.
A lot of crazy stuff happened over the weekend, and of course, so much Age of Sigmar stuff coming out. It's a great time.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Clint, thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I'm Adam Harry, and this has been the Bulls Tabletop Hour. Thanks for hanging out. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.